All right, team. How's it going? How's it going? How's it going? Let's pull this down. All right, before we get started, as always, go through your checklist. Make sure you're fit and able to trade. You shouldn't be here if you're suffering from tilt, if you've done anything bad yesterday and you've got sort of, a hangover from it. Make sure you've done the basics, done your morning prep. If you do a meditation or breath work, make sure you're doing that. Have your coffee, have your water, have your food, all right? Do not just come straight to this desk looking to swing a position, hoping that you're going to get something. All right, so talking about preparation, let's go through it. Daily chart. What do we have? We're about to back test this old range that we broke down from last Friday. You can see this big candle Friday last week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, slam back down, all right? Closing near the lower side of the range. Yesterday, Tuesday, we got expansion lower, much of which happened overnight, sweeping these lows from August, leaving these 800s that we talked about. All right, but we have left didn't sweep them all, but sort of left. This is a lack of excess down here for me, but we did sweep them. So what we do now, we're back testing. All right, we're back testing where we broke down from, which is basically this level in here from Friday, this transition from Friday to Monday. This level here is where we found sellers overnight, Sunday, Monday, for that sell. We're coming up to back test it. And the question is, once we get in this kind of area, we can sort of move this down a bit. Once we get in somewhere like this, right, do we find sellers? Right, do we find sellers in there? And then are they going to come down? Right, if we find sellers and attack these lows, or do we get a higher low and go back in rotation? All right, so those are the things I'm looking for, and we can see that in better detail in the hourlies. All right, let's make sure you can see all this perfectly. Let's move this down a little bit. All right, so hourlies here. Stick with me here for a second. Here is, all right, the old lows, which we came and swept. This has completed the cut. If they want to move lower, all right, we will need to wait for some kind of reaction here and a build of liquidity here down to 800s, all right? If they've caught shorts at these lows, which is what we talked about yesterday, lots of traders not understanding, you do not short the lows. You wait for a retrace or you wait for a liquidity build underneath. You do not short into lows, because this is what happens, all right? This is terrible location for short, isn't it? Fantastic momentum, terrible location. We had 1, 2, we're now having 1, 2, and we want to see, is there somewhere up here where sellers come back in and sellers back down underneath this low? All right, so if I zoom into this, what am I thinking about? We have resting liquidity from Sunday. If we think about Friday, where did we close Friday? Right, get the right candle here. All right, this level here, 480, is your Friday close. All right, 480 is your Friday close. That level there for me is a cash close, is going to be key. This level here is going to be key. If we start to clear over that, right, then what are we going to aim for? We have resting liquidity, don't we? Right, up here, that was that afternoon push on Monday, or sorry, on Friday, which got sold into on Monday. All right, so if we sweep and clear this, we can either look for that fade down, or we can look for a base up here, which will be left shoulder, head, right shoulder, triggering potential squeeze. If too many shorts are caught down here and they add into the pain here, we are opening up for a squeeze higher. Where would bear traps live? For me, I like this level here. All right, I like these overnight lows here, because we have London and Asia very, very tight. If they flush this low, hold bids versus yesterday, then I think we're open to that, because shorts will chase in here and get stuck. If we take out this low and reject it and stay heavy, then there's a transitional trade right back down to these lows where we have unfinished business. I am looking for this trade, but I have a feeling it's going to happen later in the week or next week. Just based on how we're doing here, I wouldn't be surprised to see something like this and then back down later next week if we're going to come back for it. So right now, I'd say hourlies look bullish. Daily did set a lower low, but closed inside. So I don't want to say that we're in a bear trend on the daily yet. All right, so we're watching these levels here. We have news coming at 10 o'clock. I don't really want to trade in this location as if possible. All right, if we fail here, maybe there's a short back down to here. That would be a cover point. If they let it go, great. If they don't, I'm getting ready for a failed breakout underneath this low for a bear trap, playing the higher low for a long backup to the top side of this. That's what I'm looking at the moment. So I'm trying to be open for both sides. A good reason to be open. You can see here, here's the W, here's the base and hold. If we trade under this and reclaim, long. If we trade under this and reject, short. If we trade over this and hold, long. If we trade over this, fail breakout, short back down to here. Both sides are available right now because we're trading back inside the range. All right, we're trading back inside the range. We're still in an inside day right now, remember? Versus this white line above. Okay, lots to go over. You can see the same thing happening here that we talked about. All right, here's the breakdown yesterday. Shorts get stuck, they pump up. There's your short back down on stream. There's the hold of the lows. Horrible, horrible move that, not sweeping it. And we're coming back inside. So this level here is an area of interest for me, either for a long or a rejection and a short. That's what I'd love to see. If we don't get it, we just clear these guys out. We just have to see. If they keep doing a squeeze, it's going to be very hard to join because the better location is down here, isn't it? And down here. We're joining very, very high now. 400 points higher. So we're just going to have to wait and see what we get. Let's have a look at the other charts because they are slightly different. ES is coming right into its supply. All right, you can see I have to change these old levels so you're not confused. All right, ES coming right into a supply block here. Move this down. You can come down, buddy. All right, but I don't think anyone swept here. So this didn't sweep this. This double top didn't sweep this. This didn't sweep this. This doesn't sweep this. So you ICT traders, that's a low resistance liquidity run if it wants to come for it. No guarantee it does because so far here is supply. All right. We've traded down 1, 2, we're at it right now. So any failure in here opens up this move here. And then from there, we're either thinking long back up or rejection and continuation short. Same kind of play, but we're coming into that pocket there. Let's have a quick look at the VIX because VIX started dying back down. There you go. All right, so VIX getting turned back down. This is the key level of VIX. Is it going to base here at 17s for a return back inside? Failure of 17s, you know, if we leave this double top and we get stuck here, then we've got this sort of giant head and shoulder building out for a rotation back down to the lows, which will allow the market to squeeze back higher. And let's have a look at the mag. All right, so we had news yesterday in the afternoon on Google and Apple. As you can see right here, boom. All right, and that's what dragged the market up. So Apple gapping up. PDC way down here, PDL here, PDH here. We are gapping up and above, and we're looking to rotate back towards the highs, right? Remember, I'm swing long in this at the moment, so this is good news for me because I'm long from way down here. And we're looking to come and take out these at the moment. So if we can base above, you know, make a new base here, Apple's looking for a rotation. Any failed push here, we could probably do a measurement of this. Let me just drag this down. All right, we're into that golden pocket. So you wouldn't want to be long here. Either we get the squeeze or we don't. I wouldn't want to be a new money long, that's for sure. Amazon, why is it not giving me? There we go. Sorry about that, folks. All right, Amazon. Opening up flat. You can see the sell-off the last few days with the market. Last few days with the market. Starting to build out here, all right, building liquidity. So either squeeze back up to test supply 228 or fail and retest the lows 221. It's kind of in no man's land right now, Amazon. Google was strong. Remember, that was the one with the catalyst. That was the one with the news. Big, big move up on Goog. Just going to zoom out of this. Wow. Wow. Is that new all-time highs? It's got to be, right? Yeah. All right, so Goog in an absolute flyer. The news was like not having to separate... It wasn't YouTube. What was it? Not having to separate something. So we're looking for a retest, breakout retest, and a long there on Goog. Otherwise, you're looking for a failure underneath, wait for the failure, and then a rotation. Meta. Move lower time frame, give me a second. Slight gap up as well. Not as big as reaction as the others to the news. This looks very much like the rest of the market right now. All right, there's your low, double bottom W, holding it, coming back into supply. Does it reject supply for retest of the low to then come up or fade down? Or does it just keep building liquidity here, setting up for the next session for a squeeze higher? How are we doing for time here? 5 minutes. Microsoft. It's a bit more of an ugly chart there. I would say this is almost more boxed in. All right, sweeping that low, which is positive for bulls. Holding, coming into midpoint of the range. You can see buyers are trapped up here. Sellers were previously trapped down here. You're chopping in the middle. That is a leave alone type of chart for me on Microsoft. Nvidia, reaction off the lows, but definitely in a bearish move right now. All right, taking out the highs there on the news, on earnings, walking it down, rejection underneath. Let's just zoom out, see where we are versus that big box. All right, here's your big box. Okay, so if Nvidia rejects here, you're looking for a rotation down to 64s, and then I think it was 150s I was eyeing up. Yes, this little block here. All right, this block here. So it all depends if Nvidia is going to reject that range. If it doesn't reject this range and trades back inside, then you know what we do, because when we fail one side of the range, we come to the other side of the range, right? So we will have to see on Nvidia, and then Tesla. Nice reaction there on Tesla off the lows. All right, so any base today above 33 or 30, you're looking for a push higher. Failing under 30 opens up that door lower. Okay, let's have a quick look at the ETFs. SPY mimicking ES, so everything in sync. That's great. Do we come down here and offer that buyback or wash, or do we just squeeze over? Remember, relative strength in the spiders has been the play in the market. Nvidia play, NQ playing catch up after those Nvidia earnings. All right, so that's what we're looking at. Trying to be neutral today, trying to allow possibilities of potentially bear traps underneath these lows. All right, if we wash under there, potentially bear traps underneath those lows, because this is where we broke out from yesterday. This was the afternoon pullback that led to the squeeze. If we can get a bear trap under these lows, I'm not against the long. If we failed under that and fail, then we can think about that short back down to retest those lows with unfinished business. Longing up here for me is a little tricky given how high we are. All right, given how high we currently are and coming into supply. So momentum, you can argue lower time frame momentum's good. Is the location good? Not right now. It's almost like we've got to clear that or pull back for me to really be convinced about a long right now. All right, just based on momentum and location. All right, let's zoom this in, make that bigger for you all. We're going to do some shout outs. Let's see who's here. Give me a second, folks. Okay. Morning, everyone. Good morning, Muhan, Jesse, Ramus, Coop, Toby, Julian, Dawson Shores, Miguel, Leron, Christopher, Mo, BB12, Alpha, Brandon, Peter, Ken, Bowden, Real Trini, Raphael, Charles, Shane, Sergio, Bart, Firewater, Chris, Eva, Contorted, Jeff, John W, Mike, Calypso, DJ Noah, Myron, Moby, we've got JD, Aaron, Gatney, Christy, Danny Corking, Mike Light, Peter Illis, Aaron, Silent, Troy, Vincent, Marek, and Full on Tilt. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Volume this morning probably is low. I mean, we've not opened up yet. Yeah. Yesterday wasn't bad, though. It was a bid all day yesterday. And remember, folks, we have got news coming today. So just as a reminder, Jolt's coming at 10 o'clock. You've got Kashkari talking at 1:30 and the Beige Book at 2. All right. Most of you are looking for bullish squeeze or dips today by the looks of it. Most of you looking for that. Let's go back. What are you all saying? All right. Yet again, as this channel grows, I wake up to a load of hate mail and stuff this morning. Just the trolls are unbelievable. Unbelievable. Someone got their knickers in a twist because I've talked about Apex, you know, because they clearly have never had a payout from it, which is fine, but they're just, it's mental, man. It is mental world out there. People get very, very brave behind a keyboard. Feel sad for them. Hopefully people find peace. You can tell they're very annoyed, slamming their keyboards in capital letters. All right, here we go, folks. Morning open. Letting this settle down. Remember, news in 30 minutes. The book looks a little bit lackluster. Biggest number right now is 100 lot up at 23,500. Let's just check the ES. Probably got to fill both sides right now. Yeah, that looks a little bit slow as well. All right, so I'm not really interested in trading long up here. That's for sure. We know the potential bear trap is underneath those London and Asia lows. Give you a readout on the mag. All of the mag currently green, other than Amazon, which is about to try and go red to green, and Microsoft. Nvidia having a little bit of a pullback here, but finding a bid. We're down to VWAP here. Okay, so we've swept now some of that liquidity created in London down to the 400s. Just interested. Let me just reset this. This is trading view being annoying again. 1 second. Reload this tab so we don't have that vertical line. No, you only want to do that vertical line. Well, that's useful. Never mind. Okay. So letting this settle down. ES so far rejecting its supply into 60. NQ similar, trading into supply. Finding a little bit of a bid down here on these old highs. I'm actually going to clean this up a bit because I'm not convinced about that right there. Let's leave that for the low side. Let's redraw this in a little bit better, shall we? All right. Just watching this hourly here. Currently basing off that old hourly pivot at 80s. No, go away. How do I get rid of that? Why would I want that? Man, trading view is absolutely on one today, clearly. They're doing updates and just pounding people with the updates. All right, all right. So finding bids so far on the VWAP. Like I said, I don't really want to trade long up here. Need a deep pullback for me to really think about that long. Somewhere into that sort of breakout level from yesterday, or the afternoon pullback would be even better, that level from yesterday, which is kind of where yesterday's VWAP will be hanging out, I would imagine. Somewhere near the 60s, 560s on the SPY. What would that be on NQ? Sorry, 560s on NQ. Somewhere down here, 320s to 161 would be amazing. Okay, most of the mag's still green. I can give you a readout. Tesla 0.71% up. Meta 0.25% up. Google 7% up. Apple 2.82% up. Amazon 0.55% up. Microsoft 0.09% down. It's trying to go red to green. Nvidia a third of a percent down. So most of the mag up as a whole as an index. They're up 1% just as a mag. And nice and calm here. Because there's no trade here for me. I mean, maybe there's a short back down into these lows, but I don't really want to fight the trend, especially when the mag are so strong right now. It's going to need to become clear and obvious. And I wonder if that will be after 10 o'clock. Until that point, I would not be surprised to have a sort of chop and slop type day. Remember, this is Friday's close up here. We can do this as yellow so we can remember it, or orange. There we go. All right, so that's Friday's close. If we're going to do that gap fill, remember we gapped down Sunday, failed Monday, failed yesterday. Can we come all the way back up to it? Nice and slow. This is how it is some days, folks. We had a good day yesterday. Well, you guys had a good day yesterday. We just have to sit still. Sit still now and wait. Right, back to VWAP again. Relative strength here in the spiders. Yeah, well above their VWAP right now. How's Luna doing? She's doing pretty good. She's still got a little bit of a limp, but she's doing good. She's on her feet. She's mentally, she's amazing. She's thinks she's back to normal, trying to run, jump around. But what are we now? Week 8. Week 8 post surgery. God, that's gone quick. I'd say at least another month, 12 to 16 weeks before the limp should start going. If we don't see any good reaction, then we'll have to get her in a pool and get some physio and rehab work on her. Morning, John. Morning, Bowden. Do me a favor, guys. There's 151 of you watching right now. Can you smash that like button? In fact, I forgot to share this morning, so I'll share the stream as well. All right, seeing a little bit of selling here versus these buyers, these trap buyers at the moment. If these buyers remain stuck, all right, if all these buyers remain stuck, we might rotate down to where, all right, down to here, which is where we're trying to find a pivot. If we fail this, I think we probably rotate down to these lows. This is where a bear trap might live underneath here. All right, so we just have to see. We just have to see. It's very tricky because of how they're setting this up. In fact, I'm going to put this on just to remind me that this is a pivot level, lower time frame. It's not necessarily demand. It's just a pivot level. It's just how I remind myself, hey, don't get short in here. Don't force your way into something. Yeah, she's super strong. She's a strong girl. Okay, coming into after hour levels here on the QQQ. Nvidia selling 0.75% down now. Tesla's just gone red. Microsoft's still battling red to green, still battling around its PDC close price. Remember, Google strong, 7.5% up. Apple 2.36% up. Strong day, rest of the mag. Microsoft, Nvidia, Tesla, the weak ones at the moment. Not much on the book. If you look at the book, there is not a lot happening here today. I wasn't totally sure what they were going to do yesterday until right near the, I'd say the final hour of the day. We talked in Discord and I said, you know, it'd be nice if we close above the IB high because we left the IBL intact. We want to at least sweep one side. 23,500 is on the book. There's nothing down below. Nothing down below. So I think we're waiting for this 10 o'clock news at the moment. 23,500 and 23,600 were 23,550, 23,6. Very, very, very key. Those were the levels given in the newsletter. 500 would be taking out, what day is this? Monday's London Asia session. So we'll see. We will see. Not much to do here so far. 66-point range in the first 10 minutes. We'll get a trade once it's ready. Once it's ready. So far, dips are holding here this morning. Versus, I'd say that sort of after hours push yesterday. Right into, well, after close, that sort of settlement push on the Google News. We're holding that level so far. Holding the 200 on a 5-minute as well. Yeah, just a reminder, those who did buy the Apex accounts, they have extended, not the sale, but the PA fees. All right, so you've got another 48 hours on those PA fees. That will apply not just to the accounts that you've bought during the sale, but any other accounts. So if you pass an account, an evaluation, I should say, in the next 2 days, it will be very, very cheap, those evals, especially the bigger ones. If you've got 250 or 300K, yeah, I think they're just like $34 for the activation fee, which will really upset everyone that hates Apex, won't it? So funny how passionate people get about hating a prop firm. There's lots of prop firms out there, you know, just trade the one which suits you. But I tell you what, the biggest payouts for me and the biggest payouts for all traders in the prop firm space come from Apex, because you can have 20 accounts. All right, so yes, their rules are harder. Yes, trailing drawdown is hard. But once you get past that, it goes away. It goes away. $23.20 is a big wick. Let me see. Uh, 23.3. Read that properly. 23.320. Yes, from 330. Yeah, but I mean, there's still, all that did was find a bid after that break of trend. Right, you're talking about this move here. This move here. Right, so we set up this squeeze. There's your rounding pattern. There's the breakout. Came back to it, found a bid, inverse head and shoulders. That's what the wick that you're talking about. If we come down there, we take this out. Right, and I think bear traps live under there probably today, unless we stay heavy versus it. Right, unless we stay heavy versus it. So far, they're selling into pops this morning, but we're still fairly bullish for me until it confirms. Not a great trade location. Yes, still a consistency rule on Apex, 30% consistency rule. So I think the only ones that don't have that are, I think Tradeify is 35. Take Profit doesn't have that at all. But remember, Take Profit Trader has a trailing drawdown in the PA accounts until they move you to live. You know, so every account's got its positives and negatives. Every prop firm. That's why there are so many, because different things suit different traders. You need to trade them accordingly. It doesn't matter to me who you trade with. It matters to me that you're all profitable and you find the right firm for you. What I don't understand is people who just come on socials and just type in capitals. I'm so upset. You're a scam. Blah, 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 blah. Mate, you've clearly never been on my channel. It's just mental. Especially the ones who are from UK. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll move home and come and say hello to you one day. See how brave you are. Yes, Gatney. Yeah, how it works with drawdowns different with every firm. Apex trailing drawdown until you pass the buffer, then it goes away. How was Mallorca, Bowden? Hopefully you had a good time. It looked beautiful. I do love it over there. All right, we're trading basically at the midpoint of this initial balance range. Session mid right now. Nothing's changed. Yes, I agree, Peter. It's funny you say that. I was actually looking at Cyprus. Was 12.5%, and moving it to 15% tax. But no tax on interest. No tax on sale of assets. Hot climate. But a very small island. I have been looking at it. Don't speak very good Greek, though. But yeah, I've genuinely been looking at it recently. Yeah, it's a good move. If you don't fancy to move to Dubai, you want somewhere a bit more free in terms of culturally free, you know, where you can hold hands with your wife walking down the street, then it's a good option. Oh, nice. Nice, Adam. All right, back and forth. You can see it's still happening. Google now up 8.40%. That thing is flying. We're just stuck in a range. So I'm not touching this right now. It's not something I'm interested in trading where we are right now. It's far too dangerous. Rejecting supply above, holding support from overnight below until we have a clear reaction of a lower low, lower high, or a higher high, higher low, or a breakdown and bear trap. I'm not touching. There's no way I'm getting chopped up in this morning. Everyone else can pay for that if they want to trade this. Good for them, not for me. If you think UK tax is bad, you should move to California. It's horrific. All right, ES into its VWAP. You can see nice choppy action to start the day. All we're doing is chopping sideways. All right, this is all we're doing. We are underneath the flow zones for now, but we're on this structure from yesterday, from that afternoon squeeze. All right, and this is why I'm being careful. If they flush it, all right, without me in it, what could happen here? Yes, if they reject this above and they get under here, do we come down here? Very possible. Under here, they might well bid and recover it. All right, so there is possible there's a short down to here. It's also possible they base out 10 o'clock news and we do this. That's also possible. So like I said at the beginning of the stream, and I said in Discord, try and be flexible today. Try and be flexible to the charts today, as we're stuck in between some levels. No, JD, California's not doing that, not yet. I mean, that I was watching some of the news yesterday in the UK. It's getting ridiculous, man. It is getting ridiculous. Both sides of it are horrific right now. It's definitely not a country I'm keen to move back to right now, given the political state of the whole thing. Just a mess, absolute mess. What a waste of taxpayers' resources. You know, let's arrest people for a tweet when they get off a plane. But, you know, it's okay when I lived there to have gang members outside my house, you know, literally stabbing people, killing people in the street with machetes, and nothing was done about it. It's an absolute joke of a country at the moment. All right, coming back towards these lows that we've created so far intraday. Feels like probably wants to sweep them. ES starting to let go here under its VWAP. How long we got? 10 more minutes till this news. Did we sweep? We did. Venice Beach, is it bad? I mean, there's a lot of homeless down there still. It depends where you go, but they're pretty harmless. They just need a helping hand, you know. They could do with the amount of tax we pay in California. They could do with Newsom going and helping them, looking after them. Homeless aren't the problems. Same in the UK. The homeless people are not the problems. They need looking after. The problem is the gang culture, the knife culture in the UK. That's the problem. But I've never felt in danger in California ever. Never, ever, ever. But, you know, California's a big place. Depends where you live, I'm sure. Okay, sweeping the lows, coming back inside midpoint of the opening range. Nothing's changed here, folks. All right, nothing has changed here. Here's your opening range. This is where we're stuck. All right, so we just swept these lows, turn straight back inside. This is chop. This is not something we're trading. We're stuck between this level and this level. We don't trade. All right. Not going to force my way into something. Flat, showing you completely flat. Not looking to execute here. This is not a good location. We just wait. Yeah, goog up. Most of that was done yesterday, Mike. Like, big gap up on that news that they, I can't remember what it was. They're not going to split. What were they told in court that they weren't going to split? It's not YouTube. I'm going to have to look it up. That's annoying me because there was like a petition to split the company up, basically. So that Alphabet would have to, you know, Chrome, that was it. Android and Chrome. Thank you, guys. So they will not have to put Android and Chrome as a separate company. They can keep it all as one. And if you're wondering why Apple moved up off that, because they would be susceptible probably to the same type of thing, given that they have like the App Store and iPhone, you know, so what they're saying is you can't have it all in one company, but they've agreed in court that you actually can. Okay, all the way to the top side of this range now. Squeeze. Let's get some volume on here. Let's see how we're starting to act now. Now that we've developed a little bit more. So we held that overnight. All right, little sweep there, held overnight. Come back to the high side where supply is. I'm just going to turn my aircon off here. Hopefully the news will give some direction. Yes, exactly. Meta probably going to benefit from it too. Yeah, I would agree. And anything which has like multi-facet, where they have like maybe a store or social base like Meta, because obviously Meta's also got WhatsApp and Instagram and God knows what else. I would agree. I would somewhat agree. Okay, ES still rejecting top side of the range so far. Still no trade for me, folks. You could argue there's a trade here setting up. I'm not going to take it if it holds and bases above here, right, where we just broke out from. If it holds that, you could argue that there's a squeeze out to come and take out these highs and come back up to this orange line, which is Friday's close. All right, but so far stuck at supply, aren't we? We're nowhere near the previous day value. All right, we're way, way, way above. So very bullish in that sense. But the value for buys up here is terrible in many ways. Alex, do you trade London session? No. To be honest, I try, unless there's an amazing, amazing, amazing setup. I mean, I'm based in LA, so London's very early for me. Unless there's amazing setup, I try not to touch overnight at all. Occasionally, if there's something setting up into Asia, I will trade it, but I try my best to leave it alone because it's so thin on liquidity. The spread's bigger. It's I get hurt in those sessions more often than not. Where am I good at trading? When there's volume in the market, when there's clear direction in the market. So, you know, I try and actually ignore the charts. Even when I go to bed now, when I'm on the sofa, the temptation is to look at the charts. I do my best not to pick up the phone, not to look at it, not to care. All right, ES looking weak here, back down to its low of session, back under its view up. All of the mag now green. Open trading at 5.25. Guess who's still holding some of his position? Because I think there is still a bigger squeeze available in open. So locked most in just under 200%, as some of you will know. Still holding a swing position there. Long term, I think it's got a shot. I think all these shorts who got excited about it, $1, $2 pullback are laughable. And I used to be one of those guys, so I understand. Holding my core position from $2. So, you know, still up 150% right now. More than that, 175%. Okay. Morning, Foster Scott. What's up, buddy? Yeah, exactly, JD. Still holding that. Sold some into the sixes last week or the week before. Holding the rest. All the time it's basing over 4. I think we get a T+2 type scenario. If they're basing above 4, I'd be very nervous as a short seller on open. Okay, some bigger selling coming in here. Microsoft going green to red. Still just closing its gap, and we're still dancing in this range. Okay, still chopping backwards and forwards. 4 minutes left until the news now, folks. Opens pullback, look good on the chart. Yeah, it looks very good, doesn't it? That hold of 4 was very, very good. If you're looking at the higher time frame charts, that hold of 4 was good, and the fact that they couldn't sell through means probably I mean, it won't be a T+2 because we're over 2 days, but you know, at some point, shares are probably expensive to borrow, and they're going to start giving them back, and that's going to be a problem for them. Especially if we get a rate cut. I mean, open is going to move if we get a rate cut. If it's a big if, depends on the numbers today and Friday. But we're pricing in a rate cut, 90%. That could change very quickly. But if we get a rate cut, obviously it's cheaper to borrow. Cheaper to borrow, we buy more houses. Open has bigger P&L. Potential catalyst for squeeze. Through sixes, trigger short squeeze, 7, 8s, and 10s. And I would be a very happy man. I've got some fishing orders out there to sell just in case it goes on a flyer when I'm not at my desk. And what else am I swing long in? AMD still swing long. Apple swing long in. Like I said, in Apple from 200, so about $35 a share at the moment. I want to scoot more, but I think we've got in the market, I think we've got a pullback coming, then a new leg higher, and then a much deeper pullback coming. Okay. 2.5 minutes left, folks. Just trying to get through this to 10 o'clock so we can think about this new hour and 4 hour bar with the news. Let me go and grab some water while we wait for this. Be right back. All right, 1 minute left, folks. Oof, half of you still not hit that like button. Come on, let's get to 100 likes. We can do a giveaway today of an Apex account if we can get to 100 likes. Yes, making new lows here. Relative strength in the mag due to Google and Apple. All right, so it's going to be hard to sell NQ today. All the time they're having a massive pump. What's up, Alex? How are you doing, Crunchy? You good? Hopefully you're good. All right, news incoming here. 5 seconds. Don't be surprised if you get a big volatile candle. We'll have to see. They're not sure what they're doing with it yet. Man, that was lackluster. Barely moved. Putin also talking about war and relationships with the US at the moment, folks, just so you're aware. Jolt's job openings, 7181 versus 7437. So less job openings and came in under the estimation, which would point towards a contracting market. Revised goods in line, durables in line, factory orders in line, but previous 4.8, this time 1.3. So factory orders cooler as well. This is leaning towards a cut. This is leaning towards a cut because we've got less openings, less factory orders. The economy is going to need stimulus. Bostic's talking. I didn't have that scheduled. Anyone else? He's just made a comment. Firms can't absorb higher tariffs much longer. All right. He's pointing towards a cut. I'm just going to check here. I don't have him scheduled, so maybe I've missed that. Yeah, he started talking. Oh my gosh. It wasn't on the schedule for me. Either it wasn't or I've missed it. Let's have a look. When's he due to finish? Trump greeting Polish president in an hour as well. Bostic, with hiring and labor supply both so in the US remains near full employment. It remains unclear how consumer spending will evolve. Businesses do not expect a big shift in the labor market, but if that happens, I will be diligent on the policy response. Still squeezing higher here. ES much weaker than NQ. ES broke down, coming back towards its VWAP here. We're still inside this opening range. We're still inside the initial balance. Nothing has changed here, folks. There's no change here. There is no change here. Michael, I use Financial Juice for my news. Financial Juice. All right, back up to Globex here. Orange line is Globex. Opening range high is up here. New York Open. We're trading into New York Open now. ES relative weakness, trading back into the volume it created this morning and last night, stuck at its VWAP, no push through towards the highs. Relative strength in NQ as we start to squeeze. Google almost 9% up. All of the mag now green. You got to think they're again. Looks like they're trying to complete a rotation up to here for me at the moment. It's just the location's terrible. There's the squeeze. There we go. So previous week value area low now being tested. ES trying to get going here as well. Market's in a giant squeeze. Joining this now, if it will let me join. If it will let me join. No, not going to pick me up anywhere. Okay. I'm going to get filled down here at the Globex. All right, we just have to wait. All right, cleaning out some of these levels. Still got unfinished business now. I think the target still remains Friday's close, 471. So we've got double top up here at 60s. If they squeeze through that, we go upside. ES still struggling to join the pace here at the moment. So let's see. We're still inside of the initial balance, coming back down to test the opening range high at the moment after that little squeeze out. We're nothing more than a rotation. Still no trade for me. I was looking to see if I could get filled before that squeeze, but just missed it a little bit for that trigger through this high for a push. And they're still bidding on this. So I think this is the target here. And if we get through that, let me just check the higher time frame. Yeah, if we get through the old London high, not this London high from Tuesday, if we can get base above 50s, then we're probably going to go and tap 80s. And if we get above that, we're going 509s. I want to be very careful as we trade into the 5 and 600s, because that's where we started failing from last week. So I really, really, really would prefer to be buying much lower. Yes, relative weakness. Oof. Just inside of IB, still inside opening range. Here's your opening range high right here. Here's your New York open. Here's your previous week value area low. If we hold this, they can reclaim here and have a nice drive up into here. It is messy though. It is messy. Remember, the higher time frame trend, not on the hourly, but on the other higher time frame trends, have been downside. We are coming right into hourly supply where we're at the moment. It is not a preferable area to be long from. I'd much rather be long down here underneath some of the swing points. In fact, even lower would be great. Down here would be fantastic. Sort of a trap under there would be a much better area for me to be thinking about a long. Okay. Back to the New York Open. I'm actually going to get rid of that because we've been here a little while now. We're starting to chomp through it. So what we can do is just zoom out a minute and just redesign this a little bit. Oh, that is a horrible line. Still looks good. Still holding opening range. Looks like it wants to squeeze here. Holding New York, holding opening range. It looks like it wants to try and squeeze higher here. Buyers are somewhat exuberant at the moment. ES still lagging behind. MAG all green. Tesla 1.39% up. Nvidia 0.5%. Microsoft quarter. Meta quarter. Google 8.3. Amazon 0.59 and Apple 2.70% up. So bullish, but not offering us the buys we want. So just trying to be patient. If we start basing up and above here, and we've got on an hourly that sort of inverted head and shoulders look. If we start sweeping these highs and failing, I want to be very careful that we don't sort of take out the 60s like we have and start failing aggressively downside for that 4-hour move down after completing a 2-hour a 2-leg pullback. So the trigger there will basically be 380s down to 370s. Once we fail underneath that, this will be the hour and the 4-hour going red. All right. So if we fail under this, this will leave a high wick and a big red bar on the hourly and 4 hours. So that's what I'm very, very, very aware of right now. That 500 seller is still on the book. This is still choppy. 90-point range here so far in the first 40 minutes. Not a lot. We've done that in a candle or two before. It's because we don't have full alignment yet. All right, we're not fully bullish and we're not fully bearish. We're coming back to tests and levels. Not too far away. ES looks very weak by comparison. See if it finds a bit of view up here or not. If we start rolling over, like I said, once we get under here, if we stay heavy under here, that is a trigger for the hour and 4 hour to go red. And then maybe we can clean up some of these levels. And maybe down here we form a bear trap. If we get down there, we might not get down there today at all and just keep holding price. So back to 50s. 500 still on deck up there. Oh. This is when I need some music. Holding flow zones, but I don't like the structure of this. I'll wait for better price, better structure, better movement. Look at this news. I'm not ruling out a September rate cut depending on the upcoming jobs report and other data. Yeah, everyone's looking for Friday. Everyone's looking for that NFP Friday. That's what the eyes are on at the moment. ES continues to sort of chop here, looking much weaker. It's inside its range for the day, but it broke lows and it's failing to reclaim. NQ holding on very well. Remember, under here, we will trigger the hourly and 4 hour going green to red. Back to the New York view up. Failing back down lower. Look at ES, very, very, very aggressive back down to low of day on the New York session. Look at that tug, that happened quick. Still inside chop. Oh my gosh. If we start pushing and failing here and looking like we're going to rotate, I'll consider a short. It's not ideal. At the moment, it's just straight slam back down. They're coming for these lows at the moment. ES has already just taken them, so you've got to be careful there. SPY doing the same, coming back towards its 20-day, finding some protection there at the moment. So back down into the edge of value. Do we sweep these lows? Remember, if we break down under this, the hourly and the 4 hour candle will go green to red. Under these levels, these are big levels now. ES has already broken down under that. All right. Microsoft now going red, Nvidia now going red. If the next push-up starts to fail and we leave these buyers trapped above this New York Open at 23s, if these buyers remain stuck, there is a possible rotation. If we reclaim that, it's going to be a deep pullback, which gets absorbed to go higher. Again, we're just in a rotation market so far this morning. This is what we talked about in Discord this morning. Said I have a good feeling this will be a rotation until proves otherwise. Just because of how we set up yesterday's session. Thin on the book. Let me clear some more orders on because it's not a lot happening right now. New low of day ES here. Feels like they want to break down, doesn't it? ES breaking down. Need NQ to drive higher before it does it. Cannot risk it down here. Way, way, way too dangerous. Into demand. Need a push up and some form of structure to build up here for a failure, or under here for a failure, not here for a failure. Here for a failure is too risky. And if they start reclaiming everything, they don't build structure, then we leave it alone. SPY coming into its 20-day. Problem is we can still hold these overnight pivots down here. There's no clear breakdown underneath them yet. All right, so here's the squeeze back up to New York VWAP. Remember, ES has already swept. Let's see if they push and have some form of rejection here, or if we just go all the way back up, we don't touch it short side. We potentially touch it long side if they rebuild. If this is a deep pullback and they rebuild a right shoulder up there, reclaiming those top levels where those buyers are currently trapped. Trying to be patient here, as I know it's rotation. It's tricky on rotation because you want to play edges, so I don't want to play short at the low on an edge. Oh, thank you, Raf. Very kind. Helps support the stream. All the flow zones, everything flat right now. New York VWAP flat, VWAP flat. Flow zones here, deep pullback here, New York open here. So this is a condensed area here. This is a battleground. All right, they're battling over this area. Buyers stuck at the moment. Sellers stuck under here. Buyers stuck under here. Do we reject this and come and take these guys out? Do we reclaim this and go for a pump? If we straight fail, do we create some liquidity here to go lower? Range for this session, just 90 points. Remember, range for the session, 90 points at the moment. Not a lot going on. Yes, already swept the lows, remember, folks. Yes, swept the lows. Trying to be very patient before I attack anything here. Come on, trading view. Watching that New York open. Nvidia going back red to green, or trying. Microsoft already gone back red to green, so lots of chop around, and we're doing well to leave this alone so far. Pretty well to leave it alone so far. See how ES reacts at its VWAP if it can get back up there. Say 44 on ES to sort of 46. If it rejects that kind of area, the chance to make a lower low. If it starts reclaiming, then a potential squeeze is on. Obviously, MAG, all green. So here you go. Here's that push through. This is what I'm talking about. If we start rebuilding up here, please let me draw because I've got to do it quick today. If we start rebuilding this, we're opening up for a squeeze. If they just trap shorts at the lows, this is why we're waiting to see how they build here. Starting to look way more bullish. ES into its VWAP. Still just trading edge to edge, edge to edge, edge to edge. If the next pullback starts to hold and we rebuild this right shoulder, then I think a squeeze is potentially on here in the market for unfinished business at these highs, and then up into 70s, and then all the way up. Here you go. So it's rebuilding now for this right shoulder squeeze. So looking for long opportunities at this point. Need some structure here, please, market. If we're going to do it, we need some structure. Don't want to get trapped trying to... Same as here. I don't want to short the low of the balance. I don't want to long the high of the balance unless there's structure to play. No structure here to short. No structure here to long yet. One of those days. Just in a range. You can see it really easy if you go to a 5-minute and you look at the ETF. SPY and Qs in a range. Very, very clear and obvious range. Come on. Build some structure out here, market. All right. What are we doing? We're going to squeeze on this shoulder. Looks like it. SPY now above its VWAP. Can we take out these highs now? The structure is not very nice. We need like a pullback candle to hold here. We're right at the top of the range like we talked about. What's that? New York open and value 20s. That would be pretty deep. I don't think we go that deep. I think they try and trap bears here and just rip. For a right shoulder here for a quasi or head and shoulder to come all the way up into here. We can aggressively take it if we can build out structure. Big if right now, but if we can build out structure. Yes, lagging behind. All right. So back to Globex. Does it base over this now? You can see this is the left structure. Can we build the right structure here? So we're looking to see if we build this kind of move. If we fail back down through this, obviously we're not long. We just leave this alone. I don't want to trade this part here. If we're going to do this move, I'm interested. All right. If we're going to do that move, I'm interested because I think we've got liquidity we can take out on a squeeze. I'll be risk off once we do that. And it's a see money, take money environment if we're going to do this move. Because we're in range rotation and we're buying high to go higher, it's really less than ideal. Like I said, my favorite buy today is way down here. We have got 500 on the tape. 475, 500. They're trying to build it to do it. It's just whether buyers actually want to buy high today. Here we go. Are you going to do it, folks? Yes, still failing in the same levels all morning. VIX looking like it might break down lower day here. This is looking better. Starting to look good for a squeeze here. Come on, you got to go and take out those highs. You got to build it and take out the highs. One big candle from ES will get NQ going. Dull market day, yeah, to be expected after, think about the range of yesterday. But, you know, we're just building out a range to get going. Once we go and take out some of the key external levels, then we can think about what's next. Yeah, we can't always trend straight up or trend straight down. The one thing I'm very aware of here, like I talked about, is that H1 play. If we steal these highs and turn down and get stuck under here, this is going to be a big H1 fail. So it is a see money, take money environment if you're looking for a bullish kind of right shoulder here. And ES is very lackluster at the moment. Come on, market. Are we going to go? We're going to go. Looking to see if it can take out its IB high. You've got 6 minutes left till the IB set. Here we go. Why not bearish here? You tell me why bearish here. Why would you be bearish here? Have we taken out these lows. Who's stuck? If I was short, who's stuck? Bears. Where are we bearish? If we get under here for a sell, this is bullish momentum building. If we take this out and fail, we can think about a bearish rotation. But right now, we're trading upside. I'm not guessing the top here when bears are stuck down here, and this is a bullish momentum play. Yeah, that's why. Try and put yourself the other side of the trade. Where are bears stuck? Where are bears stuck? Here we go. There we go. So it's starting to squeeze. And they're looking for 70s, 75s, and 80s, and then probably the 500s above. And like we said, unfinished business into this Friday close here. ES now starting to join the party. So new high of day here. See money, take money, folks. Here we go. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. What do we like in a market? We like a market where one side is stuck. There we go. Yeah, contorted. It's just knowing where people are stuck. Like, if you can try and think about that every single day, where are people stuck? Everyone wanted, shorts wanted this breakdown under here. They didn't get it, all right? They didn't get the breakdown to this level, right? I wanted to buy down here. I felt like if we came down here, I can buy this because shorts will get stuck down there. They didn't even need to do that. Look, attempt at a low, attempt at a low, attempt at a low, attempt at a low. Did we break below this range? No. So who's trying to force it down there? Short sellers. Do they get their wish in a breakdown? No. So who's stuck? Short sellers. Who's stuck from yesterday? Short sellers. Short sellers. All right? Shorts here. Shorts here. Shorts here. Where's their pain? Here. Where do we go? Up to abuse their pain. Once they're blown out, all right? Once we squeeze and they're blown out, what happens then? Exhaustion, then probably a short, right? Then probably a short. Hopefully that helps explain it all. Yeah, exactly. For Scott Price, action mechanics. That's it. Just reading what's on the tape, like we talked about this morning. See money, take money, wait for one side to get stuck, attack it. Did we come into Friday? I just want to check that I've got this level right for Friday close. No. This is Friday close here. So we've taken out Friday close, which is what I wanted to see. All right, so we filled that gap from Friday. Now that they've done that, if this is exhaustive, right, and they've had enough and they start failing this, then we can think about a rotation back down. But I think at the moment it's unlikely. But things can change very quickly in this market. And we've got that big seller up at 500 still. He wants to get filled up at 500s. So shorts are trying to push it lower to get themselves an opportunity to buy themselves out. That creates the reverse momentum. Yeah, so think about when you're selling as short, you want to cover underneath. Where do you want to cover? You want to cover on a break of structure for a breakdown, right? So there are two types of sellers and two types of buyers always. There's a breakout buyer and there's a dip buyer, right? So if we just think about yesterday, dip buyers got their way down here. We never broke this low. Shorts tried here, got squeezed. All right, they tried again. They need a break of this. Didn't get it. Got squeezed. They probably tried again versus supply. What happened? Got squeezed. All right. So what's more likely here? They tried here. They tried here. They tried here. They added into their loser. They added into their loser. What's happening now? They're stuck. They're getting blown out. Once they're finished, all right, getting blown out because they're forced to cover higher. When you cover, it's a market buy. Once it's finished and there's no buying, then what happens? We come back down. Yeah. Once they've finished. That's how I think about it in my head anyways, how I explain it and teach it. Once they're all blown out and we've finished, then possibly we get the reversal. Please, can you explain fair value gap? Don't seem to be able to get my head around the fair value gap concept. Fair value gap is just an engulfing candle with a 3 bar. So like here, you have a 3 bar. and one leaves it. 1 bar, 2 bar, 3 bar. This price here between these two wicks is a fair value gap or an imbalance. It's where liquidity is thin. All right. So if we're bullish, we will hold thin liquidity to trade higher. If we trade underneath that gap, it means buyers have failed to hold it and we can trade lower from it. That's all a fair value gap is. It's the gap between 3 candles, right? You have it here. Bar 1, bar 2, bar 3. We never come into the body of this bar. All right, once we flip it, which we flipped it here, we went long. Same here. Little gap there, holds down here. That's all it is. It's just an engulfing bar with imbalance left. Yeah, Bowden, that would be great. It would be great. No, it's good that you guys can ask questions and learn. No worries, Muhan. Yes, NT8 does, but like they will print. So does this, but they're, in my experience, they print absolutely everywhere. And honestly, the best fair value gaps are ones that actually line up with genuine low volume. Right, like these. Well, this is like a BPR, so it's a big level. This over this, we're probably bullish. Under this, we're bearish because this is a low volume node. All right, so the squeeze is setting up to retest this high at the moment. ES still not fully got going, and remember, ES still has supply above it. All right, ES and SPY still have supply above it. Still not filled their gaps. The SPY has got to trade up to all the way up to 645.03 if it is to fill its gap. Okay, if it's to fill its gap, like we've just done, it's got to trade much, much higher. All right, so this is still bullish, potentially for a squeeze up, because SPY hasn't completed that same move yet. And we're trading on the spiders between the 5-day and the 20-day. Not really surprising, is it? I get confused with all of the colors. Can you show fair value gap on Bookmap? I don't know if you can. There might be an indicator. I'm not sure. Just look for it like an engulfing candle, especially on a slightly higher time frame, 5-minute, 15-minute, hourly engulfing candle, which leaves an imbalance. So like if we move to, this is a good way to look at it. Let me show you on the hourly. All right, follow this chart down here. Can you see this chart? All right, when we do base, drop, base, what do? We reprice into an imbalance. There's an imbalance. Base, drop, base, reprice into the balance. Fail. Here's your imbalance. Starting to reclaim these imbalances now, opening up, taking out all this liquidity. All right. They're still squeezing higher here. Targets are above. All right, targets are above. I would say right now you'd be looking for 85s, 500's whole number, 510, 550. All right, if it's really going to get motoring today. You want to be careful when we approach those that there's not failure of those and then a rotation back down. Fail, break out of those in a rotation. Got it on the 440 long. Yes, very nice. Previous week value area low. Nice, nice, nice. 30 points up, so just pay yourself a little bit, hold your runners, see what you can get. If they start expanding, then you are going to be laughing, my friend. Sellers here, 75, 80, 85, 500. You can see them on the book. And this market is trying to squeeze, though. You can see it's desperate to squeeze out. It's just whether ES is going to let it do it, I think, is the bigger question at the moment. ES at its initial balance high. Initial balance now set, so we are in, FBO or failed auction versus auction type theory now starting to set up. Could argue it's 3 drives, 1, 2, and this last drive might be the 3rd drive. So you want to be slightly cautious here. I guess the question is, do we now turn this into demand? Loose level, let's do it as lighter. Have you made a trade today? Yes, I was long in that last play. Still holding runners long. Looking to see if we can go 75, 80s, and 500s like I talked about. Here we go. So here's 80s. More juice, please. Come on. More juice, more juice, more juice, more juice. So ES taking out IB high. Still think we've got more to go here if they're willing to let it through. Remember, relative weakness in the ES versus NQ. NQ in a pump. All of the mag very, very, very green. We're into that territory where you need to start locking in some money. All right, sellers here at 80 and then 500s. Look, 186 lot up at 500. Let's see if there's anyone above yet on the book. No one really above yet. No one below. Let's have a look at ES. 60s and 65s. So 57, 60, 65 your target on ES for the next move higher. And there is a refresh seller here into 80 at the moment on NQ. What you guys saying? W's on all counts, calling it quits. Thank you for your sound and lovely voice. Value your commentary immensely. Nice work, Christopher. Nice work, everyone. All right. I want to be careful for failed auction theory here. So long from here and here. Paying myself into this move. Just want to see if it's got any more in it. If we are able to base above, even down to here, something like this, we can think about higher. If we start losing this, this will be a lower move, especially if we get stuck under here. But right now, we are in squeeze higher territory. Yes, trying to join the party here. Can you explain refresh seller and how you see it, please? Yes, just when they keep adding. So when they keep adding onto the book above me, when they sell, some of it gets filled like here, and then they add some more sides onto the book again. And now we've squeezed them out. So it's just seeing them come onto the book. Like here, we drifted up, sold into them. They added some more sides here, sold into them. Added some more sides here, sold into them. Got stuck in it, and then just blew them out here. You can also see it on the level 2 when they keep offering and offering, offering, offering. Eventually, they lift the offer and we blow through them. Fixed new lower day here coming down to PDL. So nice squeeze. 80s now, like we talked about. Are a little extended in terms of VWAP deviation, but we might well open up here. We have to see. Yeah, on the level 2. You can't see it unless you're watching level 2. Impossible to see it. You won't see it from candles. You could probably see it from like a delta candle or something. All right, back down to IB. Do we drift under this now? Remember, this is still an inside day. Remember what we talked about yesterday, what we wanted to see here on a daily to set up for a nice move tomorrow or Friday. This is it. This is what we're doing. We're still an inside day. This is absolutely perfect, all right? Because if we encourage too many buyers up here and we close the day flat and then tomorrow we get a sell, it will be fantastic because we've got unfinished business at the low. So if we can bid up today, walk it up a bit, and then sell down tomorrow or Friday, that would be absolutely amazing. Harish, thanks for explaining things in detail. First time here, and I really like your analysis. You're welcome, my friend. You're welcome. Oh, Herbs, that sucks. Sorry to hear that. Secured 3/4 of it. That's good. That's good. Just make sure you're paying yourself, especially if you're having tech issues. Don't sit through tech issue pains. Right, ES trying to get squeezy here. having another attempt, right? So you're looking for ES to trade through 56s, 58.75, and 60.50, all right? Those are the trigger points here where there will be stops lying, I would imagine. Just check over on the book. Yes, all matching up. 57, 60, and 65s, basically. We're trying to get up to fill this seller up at 500 right now on NQ. You do not want to be buying up here, all right? You're already in this long from down here when we built out that shoulder. Remember, once we did this, we said we're either short here if it gives us something, which it didn't, or we let it build out this shoulder, which it built out here, all right? And then we attack long, which is what we're currently in. Flow zone's now pointing upwards. We're above the initial balance. We want to see how high we can get. If we fail under here, and especially under here, then we can think about the rotation lower. Until that point, we are in trend up. Beautiful. Here we go, folks. We're looking to fill this seller at 500 on the book. All right, ES starting to get going. So you're just taking out 56s. All right, so that if you're trading ES, next level is 58.75 and then 60s. Here we go. Come on. Let's go 500s for a big old squeeze out. Let's trigger a squeeze of 500. That would be fun for us all. And I think liquidity's resting above that. Let's make sure we got this tight. It's 550s. All right, so probably some stops. I just want to make sure this is nice and tight and accurate. 510. 510 will trigger a move to 530. Through that, we're going 550. Through that, we can actually trade all the way up then to 612. So I want to see what we do here. Very close to 500s there. Don't be a dick for a tick, all right? If you are getting nervous here, make sure you pay yourself. Nice, Raf. Yeah, same here. Beautiful move. Here you go. ES about to take out that next level as well. We look fantastic. Right, 103 likes on stream. We will do a giveaway at the end of this stream, right? In like an hour or so. Once the market's calmed down a bit and we're out of trades, we will give away an Apex account, any size that you want. Nice, Aga. Nice, nice, nice. Still absorbing the tape here. Going to remove this line now because this was just liquidity. I just did it as red. Come on, you let me delete it. There we go. $500's almost filled here. There you go. He's just got filled. So we've blown him out now, that seller. So anything above this is a bonus now. All right, like I talked about. 510s, 530s. Oh, sorry, 510s. I've got to remind myself here. 530s, 550s next target. All right, lovely squeeze out here. All because these sellers got trapped in the session. That's all it was. All right, it's all it was. Sellers getting trapped, playing like double tops and resistance up here, not getting the breakdown down here, probably adding into it here, and now they are stuck. All right, and these are the trades we like when one side is stuck. Do not fight the tape. Look at the difference this morning, right, when we went sideways, all right, and then we started to open up in the flow zones in a nice buy now. Why are they not triggering? I've taken that off for some reason. There we go, that's better. Okay, 510's now taken. I'm going to take that out. So next, up here. 530s and up here. So this is like one big block. 550s to 530s basically is one block. Down a little bit. Can I expand it and redraw it out? That's where we're looking to trade. Final target. Calypso with the W. Yeah, drop me W's in chat if you got some of this. It's actually about 100 points. No, it's not. That's a complete lie. It's more like a 50-point trade, 60-point trade. Miguel with it, Troy with it, John with it, Herbs with it, Christy, Chi 5.0, Mike, Ken, Swami Jose, JD, Brandon, Bart. Love it. Love it, folks. Love it, love it, love it. Tyson with it. Lovely work. Yep. So at the moment, we're in trend day above the initial balance, aren't we? So you should not be looking for shorts in this move. Easier move today is higher. I would have loved it if they broke down a bit further, to be honest. ES now taking out that liquidity as well. All right, so ES now doing the damage as well. So next move, if you're trading the ES, you want to watch this shelf into 63s. All right, basically 63s all the way up to 73. 63 all the way up to 73. You've got a 5-day moving average up there as well. So we've reclaimed 20-day, we're trading up to 5-day. If you're trading the commons, I'd be very careful once you close this gap at 645 on the SPY. Yes, just sweat that level. So doing the damage. Let's see if they've added more liquidity above or not. A little bit into 65, a little bit into 72s. Has the bid been walking? Just zoom out of this a bit. Very dense. All right, you should have paid yourself the majority of your money now, folks. Majority of your money. Charles got it, Priska got it, Jack got it, Raphael got it, Danny got it, Leron got it. Love it. Love it. Make sure you've paid yourself, right? This is one big squeeze. Right? Think about how many shorts went, oh, add more, and add, and add, and add, and add, and add. And this is a big candle on volume. That's telling me they just blew up there. All right. So if it doesn't want to go higher now, it can afford a much deeper pullback. We do not long up here now. All right. Otani got it. Jeff got it. Great work, team. Great work, team. And these shorts are cooked. They are in trouble. VIX coming into PDL. All right, once it hits PDL, be cautious. Very, very close here. It has got a gap to fill underneath it. If it fails PDL, VIX can trade from 1650 down to 1610, which will give us more upside squeeze. If it holds this PDL and trades back upside, the squeeze will probably finish in this market. So 530s to 550s is the target up here. Oh, I don't know why that's drawn there. Up here. Sellers failing to get the job done yesterday and today. It's been the story of the market a lot recently. Sellers just not aggressive enough. And they allowed bid ups. And then this puts them in trouble. Because where they want to sell might well be higher, but then they've got all these shorts stuck at the lows, making it very, very hard for them to get a continuation sell. Harish, past 2 evals with that. Nice work. You're welcome. You're welcome, bud. Sold my 2 mini runners with 80 points. Hey, fantastic, Raf. Nice work. That is a great trade. That is a great trade. Just a giant squeeze here. If you're struggling to see the targets, right, just make sure you're zooming out. We talk about this all the time. Make sure you're zooming out. This is the resting liquidity. We're into dense volume here. All right. Low volume node. Low volume node gets much, much thicker into these 45 and 50s through that low volume node all the way up to this old POC, basically 600. This was what we talked about in the newsletter, wasn't it? Early week, we did the damage. What's this move? Bollinger Band on a daily. All right. What's this move? Mean reversion to what? 20-day. All right. From here, build liquidity. 600 is your under over. If you're new to joining the channel, you won't understand what I'm talking about. But if you do the course, it's all in there. All right. We've traded extreme to extreme, and today is a mean reversion. Today is a mean reversion back towards the 20-day. Let me just check where the 20-day is. Yes, well, we're at 5-day now, and 20-day is bang on 600. All right, bang on 600. No, I haven't. I remember you saying that before. Let me just follow him now, then. You said he was the one pushing size on the squeeze, was it? I got you. All right, just followed him. Yeah, I'm just literally trading it off technicals. That's all I've been trading it off. Same as Apple when I bought that, which is now well over 10% up. Almost 20% up. Yeah, if it hits 40, I'll be 20% up on that. It's a good trade. Like 20% is good money. On commons, God knows what would have been if I took options. Open invited him for a face-to-face. Oh, okay. I'll check that out. All right, still drift higher. You can see the squeeze. All right, very shallow pullbacks, drift higher, shorts are trapped. This is what happens when shorts are trapped. Very shallow, very shallow, very shallow, shorts are trapped. Don't be encouraged to buy the top here. All right, we're not sweeping any liquidity here. Do not be encouraged to buy a top here. You will get yourself hurt. Low-hanging fruit has pretty much been and gone. If we're going to attack Tuesday's high, we're going to need to get to 550s. This is basically it. That red line, yeah, that is it. Just had to double check that. All right, if you can all give me 1 minute, I need a refill of coffee. We've made good money here. You're either in runners or you're flat now and waiting. All right, be right back. Here we go. He's back. Make sure you don't leave the stream, folks. In about an hour, we'll do a giveaway. Nice, Trini. Good work. Let's have a look at my fill. 37.50. And then re-added into it at, what's this level here? 61.25. So first fill at 37.50, added into the winner 61.25. Okay, starting to see a bit of a pullback here on reaction. Remember, it can afford a deep pullback here. This has been a straight squeeze up. Once it pulls back, we know how they like to do. If they want to come up here, what will they do? All right, they will offer something like this. All right, they will come and sweep out a ton of liquidity, encourage shorts to start chasing in, reclaim it, and go higher. If they fail here, you might get one of these to VWAP if this becomes a failed auction. But flow zones are pointing upside. Alex, I've got 5 Apex accounts right now, added for you over the weekend on 90% off. Nice, man. Sorry, I missed that last comment. Whoever put that, couldn't read it. It vanished just as I got to read it. So you can see they're adding liquidity lower here. They want to get a pullback into 95 to 80 right now, protecting the IB at the moment. Why have we slowed down? Most of the low-hanging fruit is gone. All right, most of the low-hanging fruit is gone. All it is now is we're an inside bar. Here, come with me to the daily. Let me just go over this. We're an inside bar. All right, here's Monday's range. Here's the breakdown, Friday, Monday. Here's the mean reversion. Here's 5-day, 20-day. Here's lower bowl. Here's upper bowl. This is your no man land, right? So in this part here, they need to make decision. Do they come back down here, test this lows, break down, go lower? Do we set the inside bar today? So tomorrow or Friday, do we do one of these? Or do we trap and we go like, hey, we're ready to go back to top bowl now. Shorts, you had your chance, you failed, we go top bowl. Both these things possible here, right? Because we're midpoint in here. Right, above this, we're very bullish. Below this and below this, we're very bearish. Where shorts have failed now is that the bulls are starting to squeeze. Right, they had an opportunity to really do this and the bulls would have opened up. We are in squeeze territory. You can see the bulls are going to get tighter and tighter with the 5-day, 20-day doing this. This is where markets get dangerous because price action gets condensed and then afterwards, we know what happens after we do that. Something breaks out and a lot of people get hurt. Right, and this happens time and time again over multiple time frames when we get condensed price action on a tightening of the bulls. There's a tightening of the bulls, condensed price action, breakout to the downside. Tightening of the bulls, look how tight the bulls are, expansion, breakout downside. Right, happens upside as well. I've just shown you the downside opportunities like here. Tightening of the bulls, condensed action, breakout upside. All right, so we're sort of coming into that kind of territory on the daily, I would say, at the moment. If you learnt nothing else from me today, it's that when we're in one of these days, just let everyone else pay for this for a bit. And once you've got edge and you're like, okay, they're stuck. Remember, here, I was still willing to take a short if it failed, but it didn't. So as soon as it didn't fail, okay, now we're long. All right, let everyone else pay for this. Don't be the trader getting caught in that. That is not fun. No, I don't. I don't trade any pairs. I don't trade any pairs. I don't trade anything but NQ at the moment. I should be trading gold, but it's really hard for me on gold because I just feel like I've missed like basically a 2-year generational run. And so it's very hard for me to convince myself to buy it, you know. I said it would be the hedge against the dollar. Talking about buying it for this break. You can see the blue line. It's been there the whole time. I talked about buying it for this break because gold actually likes to trade momentum. And, well, I'd be up almost 100%, wouldn't I? I mean, that is a generational run. And I just cannot pull the trigger up here now. Yeah, I don't trade any FX pairs, no JPY or anything like that. Okay, in danger of lower high here, in danger of 2-leg. And then the bid back up. Remember, if they build liquidity here, they offer the second leg down, shorts come in underneath. If they bid back up, same kind of thing is here. Same kind of action. Any more potential for the day? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Like we talked about, still got potential to come up and test this high. Fail breakout of that high is possible. Breakout of that high is also possible. 2-leg pullback here is possible. If we hold IB or any of this level here, right, and we trade back up, that's a long trigger possible to take this out. You could take this short. It's not a short I would take, but if they break this down for the second leg, 1, 2, I'm not trading that. Why? Because we're in bullish structure. Flow zones are going up. I'd rather wait to see if we're a dip buyer. Where would I get short today? If we start trading underneath key levels, if this becomes a blow off top and we do something like this. Do I think that's going to happen today? No. I think if that's going to happen, it's tomorrow or Friday. Even this has exceeded my expectations today, to be honest. I would not have been surprised if we did something like this and this all day. Alex, no DJs are allowed in the giveaway. Why not? You got something against DJs? Come on. Okay, so maybe get that second leg down here. Yeah, not something I would be touching. VIX taking out PDL. So VIX now, question is, does it find a bid here or does it go a gap fill all the way down to 16.11? ES just basing out up here. Lots of volume being created up here on ES. We will probably, if we stay here too much longer on NQ, we will build volume out here and we will flip the POC. So, oh, sorry about that. Slam the mic. Depends how long we're up here for. No, I don't. All my decks are actually at my parents' house at the moment because I rented my place in London out. So my 1210s and my 2000s and my Nexus and all my discs and my pianos and my speakers and everything, my whole studio. Everything's there. My Novation, everything's over there. Sold some of it. Also gave some of it away to a like a children's youth club, which teach underprivileged kids music. I gave some of it away to them because Eamon, the guy I used to book to DJ with me back in the day when I was running some of the clubs in London, he now works there. So I would rather it went to a good home than sit collecting dust. Need one more 2000 to complete my full deck. Yeah, nice. I've actually got a new alias starting in a couple weeks with my old buddy Steph from Tough Love. So completely faceless. And a new record deal about 3 weeks ago. So we've done the first 3 singles. So we'll see how it goes. It's sort of like speed garage. If it goes well, we'll get a little kid to go and DJ it. That'll be a bit of fun. And we'll manage him. Did I miss it? No, not really. Not really. Too old for that now, man. I miss having a jam in my house, but that's about it. Yeah, it is. It's like 138. So yeah, you're spot on it. It's 138, the first single. Still holding flow zones. Market's gone to sleep a little bit up here. QQQ trying to base out above these sort of old highs that they put in on Friday. So it's just a question of can it base above these now on the Qs or not. If it can, then we have a chance to make a new move higher. If this is accumulation. If this was a push and distribution, then maybe roll over. But at the moment, we're basing pretty well. I also had a hidden image while I was performing. Oh, nice. what was your or what is, I don't know if you're still playing, what is or what was your DJ name? What's that with my voice? What do you mean? Do I sound weird? I sound like helium? Man, I don't know. That's not me. That's the stream. Does it still do it? It must just be OBS. I haven't touched anything. It's still doing it. What the fuck? Let's have a look. I have no idea. Let me still doing it? Man, I don't know. That's something to do with OBS. Yeah, it heard me talk about DJing and it just went mental. Which is nuts because if I show you this on the EQ, you can see the bass here, so I'm not sure what's going on. And look, I've even filtered the top end, so you shouldn't even be able to hear it. So I don't really know. I don't know what's going on there. That sounds like a stream error. I can try deleting the mic and reloading it, but I've got a feeling it's not going to make a difference. Mental. No, genuinely, I haven't changed anything. That's just done it by itself. Completely by itself. Hang on. I don't know what to do about that. Let me try taking the mic off and then putting it back on. So that made a difference? It's after I hit the microphone. Oh no. It's back. Okay, cool. Yeah, it was an OBS. It must have been an OBS error. So I just reset the mic in OBS and it's fine now. Sorry about that, team. Okay, you can see we're building this volume up here. Low vol underneath, all the way down to here. All right, so buyers will want to protect this if we're going to trade higher. If we trade down to here, they either find a bid here or we rotate for a trend day. Non-trend day, sorry, failed auction day. Market's gone to sleep though, hasn't it? It's gone to sleep. VIX the same. So protecting that low volume for now. Sorry, just replying to my dad. He's desperate to short the market, and I'm like, you like swing, and I'm like, you can't. You gotta wait. All right, so ES has flipped POC up, unsurprising. Well, that's me done for bull marks past the eval. Got to head out to work. Have a good one, boss man. Hey, Miguel, nice work, man. Nice work. Nice work. I guess, well, let's just see if it squeezes now. If we get that final move, and then hopefully we can do this giveaway. Looks like some reaccumulation. They're protecting this low vol. Haven't traded down to the 85s yet. Create a little bit of volume in here. This 85 sort of vaguely interests me down here, whether they protect that, which is exactly where this buyer is on the book, right? He's right there. Alabama ranked worse than 20 for the first time in 17 years. Oh my God. Savage. Savage. Still holding here. Still holding flow zones. This is controlled so far. There's a little tiny little sweep of here to go up, but I'm more interested if we come and visit some of this and how we act, right, rather than bidding here at the moment. But this is, you know, this is buying continuation so far. It's just, for me, I'm a cheapskate. Because why? Because if we zoom out, right, buying opportunity was here, was here, was here, was here, was here. I don't really want to buy at the end of this leg, do I? Right, especially when we've taken out most of these players. Only 500s left, so we've got to wait to see if they trap in some more bears. For me and how I like to play, I'm not gonna. I will play momentum when I think we've got room, but trying to play here. If you think about this now, why I'm not looking for a long hit. Let's say we take a long hit, we target 500, and we risk the IB. Right, you're basically 1-to-1. For me, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Alabama didn't look great, but Michigan's new QB might be the real deal. I need to catch up on all the highlights. I missed everything because I was far too busy smoking cigars, drinking my body weight in booze, and eating some of the best food I've ever had. Honestly, the Michelin star restaurants south of the border were amazing. We were having like 4-course taster menus, $80 a head, Michelin star. Mental. Never seen anything like it. It was so good. All right, maybe now we come down and visit these levels. All right, so low volume node here into sort of 85-ish, and then that initial balance at 74s, and then 56s. All right, so I'm interested in how we react at these levels. If we react, we might not even react, right? So far, protecting that 85. Didn't even get into him. Come on. Oh, protecting him. Yeah, I do like American football. I watched it before I moved here, and then once I moved here, I've been to quite a few games. I do enjoy it. I didn't watch so much last year until the final sort of 6 weeks or something. I do like watching it. I want them to do another like QB1 show, or what was it, Last Chance You? Is that what it's called? I really like those shows. They need to do another one. They need to do another one. That's what really gets me interested, when I can follow players. Yeah, I've been to the Rams quite a few times. I went to the first ever Chargers game at the SoFi. It was really good. Chargers Cowboys. It was the first time it was ever open to the public after COVID. Been to see UCLA. I will go and watch USC this year, because I haven't actually seen them at their stadium. I've watched the rugby at their stadium, but never seen them. HBO Hard Knocks, yeah, I watched that. I'm watching that one on America's Team at the moment. So it's cool. All about Jerry making his money on oil. Coffee time, Foster Scott? Yeah, don't blame you. I'm almost through my second cup. All right, still watching these low volume nodes down here. Still watching initial balance and the old highs here, right? So this looks very controlled selling to me. There's no panic in this, right? So I'm interested if they're going to bid off this or not. There's no panic in this right now. Yeah, college football, the atmosphere is better. Like, that's been very clear to me since moving to America. You got diehard fans, that's why. I was in Austin last year for the F1 when it was Texas Bulldogs. And the streets were packed, absolutely packed. Right, 85, 80, 75 all on the book. Low volume node here. You know what's here. And the initial balance just below. Do they protect this node that we're now in? This is the level of that low volume ES coming into its initial balance. Also low volume here. So it's all a question of if they protect this or not. All right, do they protect these levels or not that they're trading into at the moment? It's 80s, almost at those 75s. Do they protect these or not? That would be my question. So far, seeing a reaction off it. Very small. Remember, this would set up this kind of play here. And this can even come down to here. Once we start trading under this, I'm less interested in the longs, right? If we get stuck here and we start to fade and rotate down, all right, this is a squeeze. They start to do one of these, they're in trouble under here. But until that point, we're looking for something like this for unfinished business up here. All right, we're not bidding, catching the knife. We're letting to see if it does this or it does this, some kind of turn. We're not catching this knife here because buyers are currently stuck up here. And we took all the low-hanging fruits other than this. This is the last one to aim for. We can go in a rotation. Why? Because we're in an inside bar, right? If we're protecting this, if you think about, we just zoom out, right? The daily bar that we're inside is, where's my red line? Okay, is here. All right, that is one big daily bar, right? And we're starting to bid back up. We could sweep or fail it, and we could trade back down, or we can trade the midpoint, and tomorrow or Friday we can do this, or we can do this. All those things become available. So into IB. This level here for me is really key, this sort of 85. Because we ripped up through this. Big expansive candles through it. Buyers are now stuck here. Do they reject this, or do they start reclaiming? Volume's definitely tapered off. You can see the biggest volume of the day was on this. This is where I said this felt exhaustive up here. Failed to hold above it. Now everyone above this is stuck. So I want to be aware of that. What level is that? Basically 500, just under 500. It feels very controlled so far. No panic yet from sellers. No one sort of panicking out. Almost time for giveaway time, folks. We're almost there. Then I'm going to hit the gym. I had a good gym session yesterday. I've started doing the British Army test after gym session. So I'll train for an hour, hour and a half, and then I'll do the British Army test. I did one last week before I went away. I did one yesterday. My stats yesterday were pretty good. I think I've got a lot of room to improve. Hardest bit is the chin-ups after everything else. It's the order you do it in. So yesterday I did a 2K run in 10 minutes, 28 seconds, 55 sit-ups in 2 minutes, 75 push-ups in 2 minutes, and 8 overhand pull-ups on the bleep test. So it's a bleep test pull-up. If you fancy doing it, I'm interested how you guys do. I want to get better. I want to get to double digits on the pull-ups. I think my back was tired though. Both times I ended up training back before doing it. So I need to do it on a day where I'm not training back. But it's good to test yourself. All right, they're adding liquidity below now. So it's starting to see deeper moves. You can see it on the book. It's buying now down at 60. So this is a decent fade off this high now. If we think about this as a fib, let's just do a measurement from high of day to low of day. Remember, we left unfinished business at these lows just like yesterday. Into flag territory, 50% would be 47s. 50% would be 47s. Mag still all green, still look good. I've left 3 highs here on the H1. I'm interested basically into the 60s. Just based on the H1. This level here is the next level of interest for me if they hold this. If they start failing that, I think this market could get very heavy very, very quickly. Not showing bookmap today. It's right above me. It's right there. You guys can see it, right? It's right above me. Here we go. Coming to these 60s. New York view up at the 40s. The back testing key levels and volume that we broke out from. If we get really heavy here, these are subject to get taken if we get really heavy here. If we start seeing sort of that panic selling step in. Oh, you had your chat over it. No worries. Right, ES coming back down towards volume and VWAP. Heavy here on ES. Starting to see a little bit more aggressive selling here to the downside. Here's the battle. You can see them trying to fill 60s now above me. See if anyone's down below. No one yet. So fill those 60s. This is Friday, remember? Bidding off Friday at the moment. So ES just went IB to VWAP, bouncing off VWAP, or just in front of it. SPY bouncing off it, about to retest its initial balance now. So if we start failing up here, if pops start to fail, you will get a rotation. If they start reclaiming, you will get a squeeze. We are in a rotational market in an inside bar. This is still inside. This is the top of, what was the day yesterday? Tuesday. All right, top of Tuesday is actually up here. Here's your pullback. If they do not do this to complete the rotation and they get stuck under here, you have all these lows, none of which got swept this morning. So there's 2 plays setting up here for the rest of the day and the afternoon. So just waiting to see if they want to bid up off this level here to do this, or if we get stuck for this move. Yes, bidding up off it so far. stuck right at that initial balance. You see it right here. And a value area high on the day so far. Everything above seems like excess. Buyers are stuck here. Decisions will be made. Starting to feel much heavier now. View up here for the ES. Remember, this is a big squeeze out back to the origin of that squeeze right now. Here's a pop-in. Back to previous week value. So watching this, it looks very heavy right now. Catch you later. What time are you back? Cool. All right. All right. Sellers in control here, intraday for now. We got more aggressive as we started to break down here underneath 90s. And I'd be very worried if I'm a buyer if we can't hold these levels like I talked about for a deeper wash to come and take out all these lows. ES looking much weaker, right into its VWAP right now. They don't bid off this and they let go VWAP. We can go VWAP IB low across these indexes. They bid up off this, then we can set that trap. But so far, sellers are in control in this move down. Lack of response from the market here, I would say, at the moment. Meta now going red, Nvidia now going red. Everything giving back its gains this morning. That squeeze finished. First time in 4 years, unemployed outnumbered job openings as far as market calls. And you're seeing that data start to reverberate around the market, it seems, at the moment. Trump's talking, great. And he's starting to post on Truth Social. That's useful. All right, ES into its view up here. Sellers are in control here. There's no doubt about it. Sellers starting to take control here into these areas. It's where we found bids from this morning. There's been no real pop to sell into since we started getting more aggressive. Maybe here you could argue, but I guess IB would have been the play. Man, this thing is heavy, heavy, heavy. ES really starting to let go here. Heavy, heavy, heavy. These lows might not be safe. These lows might not be safe, folks. Can we get involved? Can we find a way to get involved? Low volume node here. If we let go of this low volume node, low of day. I want to see pops fail though. Otherwise, no play. Oof, there's VWAP. Yes, still heavy. Breaking down well under everything. We let go of VWAP here. We're going low of day. Nvidia red, Meta red, Microsoft not far away, Amazon not too far away. You said before it happened, I hope you took it, Alex. I took 460 to 440. I haven't taken anything yet. 462 low for me. Maybe I should have taken IB, but it's okay. Something was set up here. If we're in rotation, we'll get something. Need a like little pop up and a fail, or like a clear fail on the VWAP. Something to rebalance up towards 56 or something. Aggressive here. It's an aggressive sell. They are panicking. They're big time panicking here. I'm watching ES to see as well if it can pop up and find sellers. Protecting low volume. We're just back into, see, this is low volume. We're going to trade back into this dense area at the moment. That's got to be spam. I think we're going to trade lows here. I think we're going to trade lows. Here we go. All right. What are we doing? You let me in. These lows, none of them got swept, so they're susceptible to get taken. Just trying to find a way to get in here. This is strong selling, man. Just straight down. There's no panic, no panic, no panic, no panic, panic. Live commentary from White House. President Trump participates in bilateral. Okay, you're going to get Trump talking live here as well, folks. Just be careful. He's tweeting about Hamas. Just be careful. Just says we'll begin shortly. I don't see anything more than that yet. No, I think we want to come low day. It's just... Oh, you're going to let me get in. Nice bounce off VIX off a previous day low, like we talked about. Coming back up to PDC here on VIX. Let me get that anchor on. Let me in. Let me in. Give me something. Let me in. It's a hell of a fade. We want to come lower. Here we go. Shorts need the breakdown here after building this rejection off VWAP, but way prefer this higher first, but I don't think it's going to do it at the moment. Check if Trumpy boys out yet. Out. Let's see if that will stay there. All right, potential bear flag building here. A pop higher would be better for a retest, but at the moment, the ES is just weak. VIX finding a bid. It's very possible they just melt this. Look, starting to be packed. Look at these sellers up here wanting to get filled into 35. Buys down at 390, sub 400 at the moment. Come on. Here's the breakdown. They didn't take out that low there. Sellers can't take out this low. They need follow through. They need follow through sub 400 at the moment, these sellers. Yes, doing the same. If they don't get follow through sub 400, there'll be a bigger squeeze up before they fade it. See, right here, they're trapped. All right, if they don't get a breakdown under here, sellers will get stuck. So if they get stuck, we're going to look for something up here before fading, or a recovery here we don't touch. You can see this is where they just got stuck. We just talked about it. They don't fucking learn, these guys, and they make it impossible for this market because they do this same move on the high time frame at the moment. They did it yesterday. I'm never going to get that deep pullback in this market that I want high time frame if these sellers keep making stupid rookie mistakes, which is what they keep doing. All right. ES back to VWAP. Come on, you rookies. Still not got Trump out. Let me just check what time that was scheduled at. Not that he gives a monkeys about that. 8:20 for me, so he's late. Okay, previous week value area low, and this New York view up probably likely to be tested here. And if we squeeze through that, this old high, that Friday closure. And if we reclaim, then a squeeze is potentially on. ES still rejecting its view up so far. Harder for me now because we're back in the range. Harder for me to think about getting involved back inside all of this. Because it could explore all the way up here before failing. ES rejecting VWAP. NQ sitting on its VWAP. ES rejecting it. Decision time market. Here we go. They need a new low here, shorts. Short sellers need a new low here. They get the new low here, I think we go lower day. They need a break under those 406s and to take out the whole number of 400. If they don't do that, they're going to get caught. Simple as that. If they don't do that, they are going to get caught. If he's talking, I'm out. Yeah, I mean, he's tweeting. He's not. I haven't seen him live on stage yet. They're waiting for him to come out. He's late. He's 20 minutes late so far. Yeah, still not out. Aga, I'm done for the day. Thank you, Alex. After 2 hours, chance for long. What do you mean after 2 hours? Like, I wouldn't be bidding here yet. I feel like you love guessing tops and bottoms, Peter. Wait for the change. Wait for it to come into the momentum that you're looking to see. If it's at an area you like, that's fine, but wait for the change. Why pick this bottom? Let it like start setting higher highs and higher lows, and then you can think about it. Yes, going to trade into this New York view up. I think we're trying to do the same. If we squeeze through this, these are the areas up here which we failed from. So this is a big sell, might be a back test, produce a lower high if it's going to come back further down. And this would be a giant one of these then at this point. And this is, again, just a rotation day, right? Because this is still inside this, isn't it? All right, this is rotation. Squeezing up here. ES reclaiming New York view up. Coming back into low volume node on the ES. Rejecting low volume node ES. Okay, watching this very carefully now at this point because they're trapping both sides. There's your two leg has sort of been completed now. 1, 2, very low time frame. This is what I was saying. This is your over under. That's the time here. What's the bet that we move as soon as he comes out? That's the danger, isn't it? Midpoint of initial balance, right at the VWAPs. Not a nice place to trade, particularly. Yeah, quite right, Coop. It's been the story since March, hasn't it? Shorts cannot get the job done, and we talked about in the newsletter. Like, it's something you've got to be aware of. They've had the momentum from Friday. They had it Monday, like overnight. They had it yesterday. They can't get it done. They cannot get it done, and that is something you've got to be aware of. This slow grind back in the market. Every opportunity shorts have to get it done, they're not getting it done. Like, maybe that shifts in time, but at the moment, they're probably exhausted out from trying and trying and trying and trying. This is setting up, possible rotation, but I don't know. Hard for me to think about much over here other than a continuation short if it sets up at the moment, or a continuation long if it sets up back above these levels. Right now, I've got to wait for either some form of breakdown. If anyone knows why I have to double click everything on TradingView to teach you to draw, like teach you the things, because it never lets me draw. I have to click it, select it, and then I have to go back and click it again. I don't know what the bug is, but it is flipping annoying. Yeah, hourly just finding bids where we found it this morning. Back to POC. Oh, here you go. Trump talking. Be aware. Starting to feel a bit weaker here. Big sellers coming in the tape here, trying to sell down. And if they get stuck again, they're going to get caught again. So they're failing VWAP again, failing to sell under VWAP again, failing to sell under lows. Like I said, if they get stuck again, they've just marketed in heavy here. You can see it on the tape above, and they got instantly absorbed at 22s. They will need a new low. If these guys do not get a new low, they are in big, big, big trouble because they just came flying in there from 37 down to 22s. This is the play here. If they can roll over for the new leg down to these lows. If they can't do that, shorts get stuck. We're just at VWAP. It's no man's land. I genuinely don't know the direction here because we're inside bars. We're inside London. We're inside initial balance. We're inside opening range. Like we're just sat inside opening range. If momentum comes, we can play downside. If we reclaim this, we can play upside. Right here, right now, lack of edge. And you got Trump and this Polish president talking. Again, they tried there and failed. Sellers keep trying and failing. Will they succeed here? Can they get a breakdown under these VWAPs? ES now looking weaker back under the VWAP. Is NQ going to join? Right at its VWAP right now. Starting to look a little bit better here for a breakdown. Still lack of follow through. No break of those 405s. That's what we're looking for. And if we break those 405s, I think we can potentially go lows. What's under this on the tape? Big buyer at 390. 600 lot at 390. 600 lot at 390. Down here on POC. Lots of wiggles here on the tape. Bidder stepping up at 410 now. So they want to sell up to 445. They're trying to bid off 410 and then 390s. They're going to cut and attack the lows here. So in this now, see if I can get a partial down here. Maybe not. That last push. In from 24s. Not getting my way at the moment. They're still taking questions here, so just be careful. Any reclaim of VWAP, I'm out. There's the backside of this flag, potential bear flag. So looking to see if they break down. If they reclaim VWAP, I would take it off. Can always re-enter. Talking about Russia and tariffs now and sanctions. So double bottom here, not holding, not getting my way, so I'm out of this. This was the danger if we lacked follow through, which we've lacked again. So just like here, protecting the low, protecting the low. It might come later, but right now, seller's doing a terrible job. Why do I need to use a tick indicator? You think I need to mark these lows and highs and lows? I don't need to do that. I can see it with my eyes. Take care, Peter. See you tomorrow. Right, shorts caught here at the moment. Still building out more liquidity. Failed auction underneath here. ES back to VWAP. If they start basing over this, you're going to get a W and one of these. Or Donald's not very happy with the last question. I missed what was said. You just told one of the reporters to get a new job. God, White House needs to invest in a better sound technician. I can't hear a thing. So much feedback and white noise. All right, we're into a high volume dense area. This looks a bit different to ES right now, which is currently rejecting a low volume node at sort of 651, 652. I'm going to tell Donald off because they're just rambling like normal. Nothing there for me. Starting to lose interest in this market now. We didn't take out the last low hanging fruit. Everything else we took. At the lows currently, we have these set, which there's not much excess there. See how this is all excess. There's not much excess here. And I still think we can potentially gap fill down there if we really get heavy under here today. We're seeing a lack of selling follow through. MAG is all green right now, so hard to really think about that. But if we start to see some profit taking and turn, then maybe we see a deeper pullback in the market. Remember, we're gapping up today as well. So that gap fill is still possible in a range rotation day, maybe to test the IBL. It's just whether they can make their mind up today on what they want to do. Here now, maybe we're going to do it. So tempting to join some in here. Back to the edge of this little range. If we break 406s, I'm looking for this rotation down. If they keep holding this range, we can't really do much. All right, let's maybe the sound tech is doing their part to save the world. Honestly, it's really bad. It's got like white noise and feedback and tinny. Let's do this giveaway while we're in this chop, and then hopefully after we do the giveaway, something else has happened. Oh, nice. Apex just paid me. That's good. Okay. Let's do this giveaway. Sorry, team, just setting this up. Nightbot, sorry, I couldn't remember the name of it. Give it away, give it away, give it away now. How do I only have 19 likes? I've got 116 likes on the stream at the moment, from what I can see, unless I'm seeing something wrong. Okay, lowercase FZT. Type it in chat. You only need to type it once, folks. I'll give you a couple minutes to do that. And we give someone a free Apex account. All right, folks, 10 more seconds, and then we draw this winner. It still looks like it wants to break down to me, man. It's being awkward in doing it, but I feel like it wants to at least come and sweep those 406s to trade into 390s. That's what it feels like to me, but who am I, eh? What do I know? Not a lot. All right, let's pull this winner. All right, the winner is Stefano Vitello. There you go. It's just done it. Oh my God. Should have stayed in that trade. Stefano Vitello, you are the winner. Are you here, first of all? And if you are, you need to email me at info@flowzonetrader.com. Stefano. There you are. Nice. So email me info@flowzonetrader.com. And just send me a screenshot of your YouTube, of the back end of your YouTube, so I know it's you. Yeah, I see that. 605 at 390, exactly. But we didn't even get down to him. We're still absorbed. See this low volume node? We just absorbed this tiny little node here. And we traded back into another one and reject it. I feel like this wants to come down here and then either do this or get stuck underneath for a deeper move. Just making it extra tricky today. Extra tricky. Nice work, team. All right. Lunchtime coming up here, folks. 3 times in a row, rejected a tick before your take profit. That's annoying. Alex, when is the new Flow Zone Trader yacht party? Next year. Next year in the Med. Man, I want to be living in the Med next year. I think it's going to be a couple of years for me, but yeah, Cyprus is looking very good tax-wise. I think it'd be hard to convince my wife to move there, to be honest. But 15%, no tax on interest or anything like that. Oh, cheap cost of living. I think water's expensive there. They have water issues there. But I reckon I can find something decent. All right, back towards the VWAPs we go. ES looks like it wants to break down more. NQ, not so sure. All right, not so sure. Here's your chop zone. Fail breakout one side, fail break the other side. This is your new chop zone. This was the same as kind of areas we chopped this morning before breaking out upside. Haven't done much of a deep retracement higher to rebalance this big kill. All right. I think it wants to come down here. Still got that guy at 90s. He's still there. All right, he is still there. That is it for me, though, team. I'm out of here. Lunchtime now. Going to leave this alone. And we come back and go again tomorrow. Hopefully we get some nice trades tomorrow. If we close an inside day today, that is absolutely perfect. And then we're set up tomorrow for, you know, either that move back down to the lows, especially if we take out previous day high and then offer that weekly model, or if we reclaim and go upside, that's also okay. That's also okay. And we'll go over the rest of the plan tomorrow once we close today, Peter, because, you know, there's a long session left yet. Long session left. Trade safe, everyone. Have a great day. Use hard stops, look after yourself, be kind to each other. Don't be giving back the green day. Most of you got the longs with me this morning. Some of you took that initial balance short back down to VWAP. Great trade. Please don't give your day back, right? Don't give your day back. Remember, Donald's talking. Anything can happen. Peace and love. See you guys tomorrow. Be safe. Be nice to each other. Peace.